Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, a weekly live stream that we do every Saturday or try to, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice. If you don't like caffeine, grab some water as we go over some crypto news. This week, the title says, as the title says, and well, Bitcoin's doing good right now, up around 5.25% over the past 24 hours, but we did climb from 60K to 64K. And you can see we got a lot of green, baby, a lot of green. That's good to see. Nowhere near, what we used to be at, right? Nowhere near the previous all-time highs or anything like that, but still up nonetheless. Ethereum around 2,700, not getting near that 3K just yet. BNB still sustaining right below 600, and Bitcoin around that 64.3. You got a lot of other coins here in the deep greens, but I noticed that they're more AI or 3D compute render type stuff, right? So render, of course, with is trying to climb back up to what it used to be, FET, another RNDR. So a lot of deep greens on a few things. I'm glad Chainlink is up to $12. But mostly everything's around up 4 to 3%. A few things like BNB 54 or 0.54, Toncoin up 4%. So it just depends, but most of these are up 3 to 4%, 5% in some, and then in others, they only got a few percentage points. So nothing too crazy, nothing to, jump up. But I did notice that we basically crossed over my legacy line and then stayed on top of it. You can see right now, it's very hard to see, but this purple line, this legacy line that goes way, way back, we are over it and we're kind of just sitting on it, right? Like we stopped right on it and now we're up a little bit. Can we hold, right? Can we sustain is the title of today's video. And I'm trying to see, is it possible? I certainly think it's possible. I think most of the recent price upward pressure or forward movement is coming from a number of variables, right? So the behaviors or mannerisms or conversation with Fed Chair Jerome Powell. People are pricing in the fact that there's probably a rate cut coming soon. Of course, all that selling pressure that we've been talking about for the past weeks, whether it was the German government, the Mt. Gox, whatever, has, slowly fell off. I'm not sure how you say that. But anyways, with all that selling pressure behind us, or at least the majority of it behind us, can we hold this level? I certainly think it's in the realm of possible, but we'll just have to wait and see. 70K from where we are right now is not too far of a cry to get to. It's only 10%, right? So under 10% to get to 70K. But are we going to march up to the new all-time high past the 73, 74K area? Right now, I don't think so. I think it's really going to take the presidential election here in the United States to really inspire that confidence. We could, not saying it's not out of the realm of possible, but I definitely think, we're kind of waiting on how is the U.S. going to react with crypto in the future. But getting to 15% from where we are is certainly not hard. But I believe, as we talked in many of my other past live streams or videos, that the market's being manipulated, and you're going to see me call that out here in a minute. So news topics, thank you everybody for stopping by. Make sure to smash that like button if you're coming in late or after the fact, you're not watching live. Either way, I appreciate every single one of you, so thank you for your time. Bitcoin blast is 64,853. You can see we're obviously down from that, right? We're down around $500. As Powell's rate cut hints lift entire crypto market. This was on Friday, and if we look on Friday, because we are on the daily right now, from the bottom of where we were to the top of where we hit, we only went up 7%, almost 8%. And when I say only, that's nothing to scoff at, right? Just to get Bitcoin to move 7-8% in a specific direction is a decent amount of funds. Let's not lie to ourselves here. But anyways, the price had been spurred on, as many people in the news state, by the U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole, where he hinted at the possibility of rate cuts in September. The cryptocurrency showed 5.3% increase in the past day and contributed to 5.01 rise in the overall crypto market, which now stands at 2.24 trillion total over the whole crypto market. If we go to CoinMarketCap, we'll see that number in the top left here. We're at 2.27 right now. Maybe we hit 2.41 at a certain point in time, or 2.24, but we're at 2.27. So we're actually 0.03 trillion above when this article was written. That's good. That's good, right? We've got some more money in the markets. Talking about the climb was 5.3%. It has gained 6.6%. Today's uptick was fueled by Jerome Powell's speech. The crypto market moved in tandem with U.S. equities, with the Russell 2000, NASDAQ, S&P 500 leading the stock market charge. Ethereum made up 5% leap, trailing behind Bitcoin, while Dogecoin led the top 10 pack with 7.25 climb. The standout performer of the day was Sun Token, skyrocketing 46.47, followed by Teller, and that was 31.27. Who the hell is Sun? Never heard of it. What is it called? Is that Justin Sun's thing? Sun Token. That's in the 40s. Sun New. It's on Binance. What the? It's a Tron token. Okay. That has no... No disrespect, but I don't care. I don't care. Other noteworthy gainers on Friday included Meme, CKB, Turbo, Sue. That's good to see. Turbo and Sue. Been playing around with that. Mew. To be honest, I've been selling Mew on the way up. Just trying to make some of my Solana back because I definitely need the funds. And FET, or Fetch AI, each increasing 18 to 21% throughout the day. The highest trading volume apart from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins we're seeing in Doge, Tron, Pepe, Sol, BNB, XRP, Avalanche, WIP, and Sue. So yeah, market climbed up. Good day Friday. We're going into the weekend. Now, usually when we have these nice green pumps before the weekend, we usually have a pullback the following week. Not saying there will be. I'm just saying that it's certainly from the realm of possible. We did do a pullback, falling 8 to 9%, as my wife is snoring in the background there. I'm not sure if you can hear it. It's not out of the realm of possible, putting us back at that 58K range. I do feel like, again, while everybody's wanting to rocket off to the moon, that the market's not ready to do so just yet. I believe that the institutions and a lot of the big players that have the capital to play around and move markets are not ready to, let the rocket ship take off yet. They're delaying the launch. Even though we're ready for that launch, they're delaying it. But this is just more buying opportunity for the blue collar hard workers here throughout the world to go ahead and stack as much as possible before that rocket does take off. Past rate cuts indicate potential crypto bull market catalyst, says 21 shares. Speaking at the annual Jackson Hole Symposium, United States Federal Jerome Powell sent his strongest signal yet that interest rate cuts are on the immediate horizon. Liana Eleb, a researcher at the exchange-traded product issuer 21 Shares, explained that the previous interest rate cuts were good for the price appreciation of digital assets, as investors with cheaper access to these loans looked to the opportunity to invest in risk-on assets. In a statement to Cointelegraph, the analyst gave a specific example of the previous rate cut at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020. When they cut rates by 150 basis points to reach near zero levels, the total crypto market cap increased by about 450% towards the end of the year, and Bitcoin price surged 200% in the same period. Not saying, I definitely don't think that percentage, don't take those percentages to heart. I don't think that's possible that Bitcoin could jump 200%. But, just basically stating in summary that past rate cuts were extremely, extremely bullish for Bitcoin. But let's just say we'll have that. Okay, so from where we are, climbing up towards 100%, I gotta zoom in a little bit more. So climbing up towards 100%, what would that put Bitcoin at? Let's see here. So 100% will put Bitcoin at roughly $128,000. Again, that's a number that a lot of people, including myself, has called for or stated that it is within the realm of possible that we could certainly see Bitcoin hitting that over 100K in 2025. Whether it hits 128, 125, 130, 140 is irrelevant, because once we get into that range, I think we're going to see some pretty excited people. I would hope that you have a number already locked into your head, ready to go for taking profits, man. I don't want you to sit there and hodl to dear life and then not take profits and utilize. I know everybody wants to hang on to their Bitcoin for dear life and not spend any of it. It's a store of value. I understand the implications. I understand the aspects of it. But at a certain point in time, especially if you could pay off the debt, help out a family member, help out your spouse, your spouse, your significant other, maybe pay for your sons or daughters or child's colleges. If there's a profit opportunity, go ahead and take it. Yes, it sucks because then the price might pump another 15, 20%. And you're like, I took profits. I should have just waited. If you keep living that life and kind of second guessing yourself, you're going to miss an opportunity. And trying to time the market is not always going to win in your favor. Anyways, moving on. Levels of M2 money supply as a market signal. 21 Shares analysts also pointed to the changes in the M2 money supply, a measure of total currency circulating in the global economy, as potential catalyst for Bitcoin breakout. The 21 Shares person noted that Bitcoin's price usually reaches its lowest points several months before the M2 money supply bottoms out before surging rapidly. The rapid price surge typically surpassed the liquidity growth before pulling back in what analysts describe as a mid-cycle correction. They also concluded by sharing their belief with the Bitcoin Exchange Traded Funds, ETFs, were a key catalyst for the price appreciation amid the M2 money supply cycle that they subscribe. Despite a 528 million outflow from digital asset investment products during the week of August 3rd, the institutional interest in digital asset investments remain high, as evident by the strong inflows into BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust and Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund of 20.3 million and 61.3 million respectively. So inflows remain good. We got a couple of bullish indicators here. Fed Jerome Powell possibly cutting rates in September, which is obviously next month as we get ready to wrap up August. August usually tends to be like a meh, right? It tends to be a meh. So I'm not too concerned about that. September, October tend to be, it's mix and match. If we look at some of the charts from the past, which I do not have pulled up, it can be green and it can be red, but we most certainly get towards the holidays and it can be red. But I really think we're going to be bouncing around these levels. I'm just going to go ahead and throw out some numbers. It may not be accurate, but I'm going to say we're going to be bouncing between the previous all-time high of 74K and 55K until after the presidential elections. And then after that happens and we get a little bit more certainty from the U.S. or just from world leaders, right? Politicians, world leaders, people who have sway or an impact on our industry. Once we get past that, things a little bit more stable, the foundation's a little bit better. Then I think we could go ahead and start marching up to that new all-time high. Bitcoin surges to nearly 64K, adding to gains as RFK Jr. endorses DJT, Donald J. Trump. The independent candidate is suspending his campaign for president and removing his name from the ballot in 10 battleground states. Not sure what that has to do with the price of Bitcoin, but basically the same things we just talked about. Jerome Powell, bullish indicator, so on and so forth. Our crypto-friendly or pro-crypto-friendly RFK Jr. threw his support behind DJT as a presidential campaign. In the presidential campaign, already higher by about 3% on Fed News. Bitcoin rose further following Kennedy's announcement, trading at 63.8 at press time, or up 5.6% and 24. So people are saying, hey, RFK's announcement was another bullish indicator. So maybe it's priced in. And usually people, buy the rumor, sell the news type deal. So it could have had some sway or influence on the market. Even with Kennedy exiting and endorsing Trump, the presidential race still appears to be a 50-50 contest by the conventional thinking, as momentum suggests the removal of Kennedy from the ballot in the so-called battleground stage will mostly benefit the GOP candidate. Both Trump and Kennedy have promised a far friendlier attitude towards Bitcoin and crypto that has been exhibited by the Biden administration, with Trump suggesting the U.S. create a Bitcoin strategic reserve and promising to immediately fire Gary Gensler, which I'm sure everybody in the crypto industry certainly wants. The Harris campaign has apparently taken notice. The senior Harris advisor, which is what I want to talk to you about here in just a moment, was that the Harris administration would be supportive of the growth of the crypto industry. But we haven't had a public statement from her. I believe, okay, so I can't speak for the presidential candidate, Ms. Harris, or the VP. But I did see her, and I did see her motorcade, right? When I was trying to catch up with friends, they were coming out of a building where one of the parties were, right? One of the after parties. And then her motorcade and her group of people like rolled out like Autobots. So she was at Nashville, but she didn't speak at the Bitcoin conference. What I would like to see from Ms. Harris, if you're listening, is you to speak at some crypto conference of some type, basically declaring your intentions, right? I understand your aides do speak well on your behalf, but I would like to hear from you directly. What is your stance on crypto? What would you plan on doing if elected president? So on and so forth. I'm sure you might not declare the same things that DJT is declaring, but some type of clarity would be most appreciated. Moving on, Bitcoin surges near the C4K, blah, blah, blah. We did the same thing. That's the same thing I just read. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Bitcoin's Coinbase premium hits a 39-day high as 63K is reclaimed. Now, does anybody use Coinbase Premium or Pro or like any of the advanced features, like where you get the insurance for your assets or anything like that? I'm interested to know. But I don't see what that has to do with the price of tea in China. All of these articles say the same thing. Jerome Powell, interest rate cut, people happy, price go up to the moon. Like, everybody's saying the same damn thing. But Bitcoin's demand in the U.S. spiked today as the Fed signaled a cycle of lower interest rates will begin. Crypto quant Julio wrote on August 24th. Monero's claim was based on the Coinbase Premium Index, which measured the gap between Bitcoin price on Coinbase Pro and Binance, and it used as an indicator of U.S. investor demand compared to the rest of the world. The indicator hit its highest point since July 15th, reaching 0.0114. The positive reading suggests buying pressure. Negative readings can signal a sell-off is happening just before Crypto Black Monday on August 5th, when Bitcoin price fell below 50K. The Coinbase premium dropped to around 0.110. Okay, so they're just using it as another indicator. The time has come for policy to adjust, he said during a speech at the annual Jackson Hole Symposium, and that was Jerome Powell. So, okay, so this is another indicator. So Fed rate cuts or positive wording from Jerome Powell, price appreciation, RFK throwing his support behind DJT, and now this measurement, right, between the price of Bitcoin on Coinbase versus Binance. These are just all indicators. Now, for weeks now, I've been saying it feels like Bitcoin has been getting manipulated. And what's funny is our buddy Austin from Altcoin Daily did a video entitled "The Bitcoin Market is Being Manipulated by Now." Now, they go in to talk about other elements of the crypto ecosystem. I believe they hinted at what they're buying, what they're doing, and stuff like that. Not providing financial advice, but just showing, hey, this is what I'm doing. And it's funny because I believe all of us can see it. Like the Bitcoin price is being manipulated. It's being suppressed because, again, I don't think everybody's on the roller coaster ready for the ride to start. Everybody is still trying to get their ducks in a row and get on it so that way we can roll out together. Now, there's still going to be people that miss the train, and I don't want you to think that you're too late. Everybody keeps on saying it's too late to get in, it's too late to get in. You know, you might as well go for some meme coin that's, 0.000 whatever of a penny. It's never too late, right? If you can and you can afford to, and not everybody can. I completely understand this. Not everybody can, because when there was buying opportunities below 50K, I couldn't exactly pull the trigger. I did get it at like 50, 51, but I couldn't pull the trigger to the amount that I would have liked to. I know DJ Mines took a significant risk, and this is on them. This is not something I would like for you to enact or portray or replicate. But he took out a loan of 10 grand and then he bought in a Bitcoin. He did good because the timing of the market. Now, he didn't time it, but the market just so happened coincidentally fall, and he was able to stack up some Bitcoin and I believe some other coins. Now, again, I wouldn't recommend you, the end user, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck, day to day, and you have a lot of bills and a lot of debt, for you to do something like that, because that is a significant risk. But DJ Mines, who serves our country, thank you for our service, or your service, you know, is probably in a better position. He's had some difficulties as far as like getting hacked in the past, but he's probably in a better position, again, paid by Uncle Sam and so on and so forth, that maybe he can deal with that risk if the risk came back to bite him. I don't want you to try to replicate that and then it come back to bite you and then you're SOL. So just be careful. But he did do pretty damn well, and I was stoked to see that. But it was definitely a risk that he was willing to undertake. So I couldn't have done something like that, but I did dollar cost average, a little bit by bit, trying to grab as much Bitcoin as I possibly could. Now we're going to be moving on to Ethereum. Trump has a project called the Defiant Ones, I believe announced by his sons, talking about that project. I wanted to hear from you in the live chat or the comments about VP Harris's aide, stating that, you know, they would love for the crypto industry, or to work with the crypto industry for it to have it grow here. Morgan Stanley, and us talking about miners, right? Mining firms repositioning itself, adjusting to the current conditions, because mining as a whole is not as profitable as it used to be. And then we're going to wrap up with a video as we get ready for Red Panda mining. But if you have any questions, comments, or otherwise, please feel free to leave it in the live chat at me, send a super chat, whatever you got. Moving on to analyst eyes, Ethereum major push 3.5K amid traders betting on the upswing. Ethereum's price chart is signal potential rise to levels not seen since the launch of the ETFs in July, but analysts believe a weekly close at 28K is needed to confirm the move. Now, right now, we are at right below 28K. Let's go ahead and go to the charts real quick. Take a look at ETH/USD. And yeah, so right now we are below 28K. It looks like we touched off of 28K not only yesterday, but this morning. But we haven't gotten above it and sustained above it. And you can see it's at the very top of the Bollinger Band here, where if we go up enough to stay above 28 and maybe close the weekend above 28, I think that would be positive in what these guys are looking for, but we'll see. We got a quote here that says, if Ethereum can close the weekly above 28K, I do think that Ethereum is going to see a major push towards the upper 3,500, 3,600 area, which will also propel its altcoins. So obviously, as Ethereum climbs up, the altcoins living on Ethereum tend to get a little bit of love as well. Of course, the price at the time the article was written was different, but now we see exactly where it is. We're at 27.66. The article says 27.58. And a 6% drop to 26K could wipe out 1.07 billion in long positions, while a comparable move upward has traders more confident with only 400 million at risk. Okay. So people are betting on Ethereum going up compared to the move down. Okay. Meanwhile, Real Vision chief crypto analyst Jamie Coates, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Jamie, is optimistic about Ether's price, but claims that Ethereum's network activity needs to pick up before any significant move happens. I do believe that. I believe the network activity on Ethereum has diminished. I think gas prices have gotten better, hasn't it, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, gas prices have gotten better, but I think that's because of the lack of activity, right? We could see here on Monday, August 21st, there was a significant amount of activity here around this time frame at the 1400 hours. And again, like if you're trying to move funds around, I found that Saturday going into Sunday or Sunday going into Monday are the best times. Obviously not 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., but if you're able to stay up late or get up early, maybe. Or maybe things are shifted. Wow, holy crap. So Friday night going to Saturday was pretty good. Monday night going to Tuesday was pretty good. Wow, maybe people are been listening to me and they've been moving to Saturday night going into Sunday and Sunday going into Monday, because now that's the worst time. But also we got to compete against the Asia markets and stuff like that. But yeah, I would, in short, I would like to see Ethereum climb and gain more activity. While the conditions for a rally are forming, Ethereum will struggle to rally without a resurgence in activity. Fees are the 4-year lows. But layer 2 network adoption has been strong and global liquidity is turning higher. But we also have a lot of people that move to Solana, Su, and other options available to them. So Ethereum needs to reclaim that activity, get those people back on the network for that resurgence to really come through. However, not all analysts share the same view as the individual we just mentioned. Kelp, financial founder, CEO Boomer Saraga, recently argued that Ethereum's on-chain activity suggests that the network is approaching its peak performance, with the price being the element that is lagging behind. From a fundamental standpoint, Ethereum is reaching all-time highs, and I expect the price to follow. Okay. Ether's price has been a significant downtrend despite the launch of the spot ETFs in the United States since July 25th, down basically 20%. Cointelegraph recently reported that a veteran trader, Peter Brandt, said that Ether's price action presents two scenarios based on two chart patterns, a 5-month rectangle and a rising wedge. The first one involved the ETH price rising above the 2960, presenting a perfect exit position for longs. The second view involved a breakdown of the rising wedge to continue the downtrend, with Ether dropping to 16,050, the bearish target of the rectangle. So you got both sides there. You got not only a positive indicator, but a negative indicator. And when you're usually at the top of a Bollinger Band, there's usually a downturn. Not unless you really are able to, push up high or push into it. Like this is a crazy breakout right here. And right now I feel like, we're above that middle sector, but we're too close to the top. So either we need a significant push, maybe Monday, Tuesday, we get a significant push to break out and go above. But if not, and we fall that 10%, 10% put us around that 2,400, 15% will put us at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, around 2,300. Wow, 1,650. Where the heck is that? 1,650 from where we're at right now would be, can't see it, about 40%. Woof. That would sting, boys and ladies and gentlemen. That would sting. We'll see. We'll see how things shape out. Moving on. Trump promotes family's new crypto platform. I'm sure some of you may have heard this already. Going to go ahead and skip that ad. I caught that one. Sorry if I didn't catch the other ones. Former President DJT Thursday promoted a soon-to-launch Trump Organization crypto platform called the Defiant Ones to his 7.5 million followers on True Social. For too long, the average American has been squeezed by the big banks and financial elites, Trump wrote. It's time we take a stand together. The post marks the first time a Republican nominee for president has used this personal platform to promote the as yet unactivated digital bank. So obviously, I don't know what type of discussions have happened. I don't know if they started laying the groundwork. We don't know if it's going to be open source. We don't know. There's another ad coming. Dang it, dude. Stop it with the ads. We don't know what's been done on the project just yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But it sounds like it's going to be like a DeFi lending platform to me. Just from what I heard. I haven't even done a lot of research. Just from what I heard, it sounds like a DeFi lending platform. Because I believe the younger of the Trump family, or maybe he's the old, I don't know which age he is, but basically one of the Trump siblings went on to say, like, this is to help people, that, can't get a mortgage because the banks, they don't tick the right boxes or do this or do that. So it sounds like a lending platform where we can lend or put our money on there. It will get lent out to somebody else, and then we earn interest and so on and so forth. But we've seen that before. So hopefully they learned the lesson from Celsius and BlockFi and all the other idiots, and not going to do ridiculous interest rates that could cause them to become illiquid. But yeah, Trump using that for too long, the average American has been squeezed by the big banks and the financial elites. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Trump was in a financial elite. I don't think he's one now, but he was one. So he's kind of like pitching himself as one of us when he was never really one of us. So be careful with that. Do what you want. Vote for what you want. I'm just saying, I don't like when people change their tone just to fit whatever the situation is. So Trump post included a link to Telegram channel, the Defiant Ones, which had approximately 29 followers as of Thursday morning. Did you guys jump in there, the Defiant Ones? Have you guys been paying attention to the official Telegram? On August 15th, post describes the group chat as the only official Telegram for the Trump DeFi project, which is building the future of finance. Two of the Trump sons, Eric Trump and Donald Jr., DJ, has spent weeks teasing the forthcoming platform because they were going on various podcasts or whatever. They got a statement here. It's equitable. It's collateral. Anyone can get access to and do so instantly, Eric told the New York Post early this month. I don't know if people realize what a shakeup that is for the world of banking and finance. I hope we can help change that. Trump brothers also promoted the project with posts declaring the decentralized finance is the future and asking people to stay tuned for a big announcement. Obviously, here it is. And then there is the Telegram channel, actually. 43,683 now. All right, so we got an announcement here from Donald J. Trump, folks. We all know the crooked banks and financial institutions rigged the system against everyday Americans. They shut people out, denied them loans, drowned them in paperwork, and killed them with legal and processing fees. Our entire family has experienced this firsthand. We have been debanked, deplatformed in every political game imaginable played on us. These banks and elites who run them want absolute control, but that ends now. We are making finance great again. Oh my goodness. Put that on a hat. By putting the power back in your hands, this new DeFi platform will cut out corrupt, expensive, and inefficient middlemen. No more bureaucrats deciding your fate. It's time to modernize an unfair and antiquated system and give everyone the same opportunity that elites have been hoarding. Join us and let's make finance work for the people again. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on this. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see. Looks like some people won some stuff. All winners received their gift links and private messages. All right, looks like they're just working on promoting. Anyways, cool beans. We'll keep an eye on that. Same thing here. Sons and the family promoting the project. The Defiant Ones shake up the crypto sector plus the financial markets. And again, now as we get towards past the middle of our stream here, I'm going pretty fast. What would you like Vice President Harris, regardless if you like her or not, what would it take for you to trust that VP Harris would, and be respectful, don't use derogatory words and stupid words, you know the color of my skin, I will punch you through the screen. What would it take for VP Harris to get your attention? Like, what would she need to do? Does she need to go on to a public convention, a public crypto convention, announce her support, come out with a game plan as what she's going to do for the crypto ecosystem? You know, whether it's going to be fire Gary Gensler. And that's another thing, too. Trump DJT is promising to help Ross Ulbricht. And I don't know if he promised Assange would be, you know, like all those charges would be let go or anything like that, but he promised a lot of things. I don't know if he'll be able to live up to those promises. I think he's getting a little bit ahead of himself, but what would it take for VP Harris to get your vote when it comes to crypto? I don't say vote for everything else because there might be other aspects of her policies or demeanor that doesn't mesh with what you want to see in your candidate, right? So specifically talking about crypto, what does she need to do to possibly earn your interest or vote when it comes or relates to crypto? That's what I want to know in the comments down below, in the live chat, whatever you got. Morgan Stanley says that these crypto miners could benefit by turning their sites to data centers. Now, last week, we talked about how mining operations Most of them, right? So most of the mining operations last time pivoted towards, for example, before the Bitcoin halving, they got more efficient Bitcoin miners, right? They were selling their older mining equipment, replacing it with more efficient, newer miners, so that way they can keep up with the consistent growth of the Bitcoin hash rate, network difficulty, so on and so forth. A lot of farms that were filled with GPUs, right? Racks on racks on racks. Play that song. Of GPUs have diminished those GPUs and got more ASICs or specialized equipment, FPGAs, whatever it might be. The heck was that? But now they're going back to GPUs because of the AI space, because they have the opportunity to, I guess you could say, add their GPUs to the compute ecosystems. And we got all kinds of different AI products coming out with different things, whether it's rendering content, videos, processing, compute, whatever it might be, right? So we talked about last week how these mining facilities were investing, right? We're talking about major crypto mining firms. Matter of fact, let's go crypto mining stocks, right? So Riot, Marathon, I think BitDeer, CleanSpark, investing HUD 8, investing in various companies or already established facilities, kind of changing over to a data center, right? So they still have their crypto mining focused on Bitcoin. Technically, it's still a data center, but now getting a mix of GPUs to focus on that AI, right? And I know we got pretty hyped up about Solid. We got pretty hyped up about some of these AI projects. And realistically, they are good and the fundamentals are there, but they don't have the workload, right? So like everybody gets on this one project and there's not enough jobs to go around. So machines are just sitting there waiting to go, and they never get a job. So therefore, you're not able to recoup your overall investment if you did build a system specifically for that AI compute ecosystem. And it's kind of SOL. We need them to have jobs, right? So there needs to be a marketplace, which Dynex, I think, has completed and is continuing to work on. And there needs to be an easy onboarding method for the miner, whether it's at scale and large to mid-scale mining operations or data centers, to the at-home individual, decentralized, so that way everybody can participate in the ecosystem. But it's cool to see that a lot of these firms are pivoting again. So they're turning their sights to data centers. Of course, it doesn't want to let me read the whole article, but we talked about it last week. If you're interested more in that, let me know. But Bitcoin miners weathering identity crisis as some eye AI and acquisitions. The post-halving stretch has put more pressure on Bitcoin mining firms' business models, but some are branching out into AI and chip manufacturing. Oh yeah, that's right. Some of them have been working on building up chips or getting their own chips produced. Bitcoin mining farms sized each other up in Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville last week as a post-halving stretch continues to put pressure on the firms' established business models. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to say who, but yeah, they were sizing each other up and they were talking crap to each other. We had one firm go up to another firm and was like, your prices are too much, and you're ripping people off, and like just being dicks. Like, in a professional business setting, you don't want to do that. You want to, yeah, we're competitors, but let's be amicable. Let's I may not deal with you, but there might be a niche that somebody wants to deal with you. I'm not going to. But you going up to people and just telling them that they're overrated, they're ripping off people and all that other stuff, like, that's just unprofessional. Let's keep it civilized, gentlemen. But anyways, the post-halving has put pressure on these firms. While some publicly traded players are treating the industry wide hurdle as an opportunity to expand their operations or launch hostile takeover attempts, others are embracing a more diversified revenue through the innovations of AI compute and chip manufacturing to go ahead. At the annual conference, a corner was crammed with firms that make money through fleets of power-hungry machines, which constantly crunch complex calculations in a race to verify Bitcoin. This is at Bitcoin conference. You can see the Hash House. I got one of their shirts there. You got WhatsMiner back here. You got IntelliFlux in their ASIC container or their immersion container right here. So there's a good picture. Andrew took that from Decrypt. I think I bumped into Andrew. I'm not entirely sure. But we got a comment here from Bitwise Asset Management, head of research, Ryan, that says, in the first few months of following the halving in this identity crisis, the Bitcoin miners have to go through. You have the headwinds from block rewards being cut in half. Consolidation within the Bitcoin mining industry is expected over the next 18 months, and we've seen some of it. Some of the locations, whether they're buying each other out or just cutting off or turning off their business and selling their assets, we've been seeing it already. The broker benchmark identifier BitDeer, a technology-focused Bitcoin miner, has a potential takeover target in the research report. The benchmark noted that among its competitors, BitDeer has ample existing and planned power capacity that makes it especially attractive. BitDeer's chief strategy officer, Harris Basit, told Decrypt that the hostile takeover is very unlikely, citing a capital structure that would make it difficult for a competitor to assume control. Still, he recognized that takeovers are one way that firms' management teams are trying to add value to their existing companies while ultimately boil it down to just a few metrics. A lot of that stuff happens when management not adding value in some other way. If you think about a Bitcoin mining company, there's a limit to what management can do. You've got to get operational excellence, low-cost capital, and that's about it. Which is true, right? You got to get your cost of electricity, your overhead down. You got to run as efficiently as possible. And if you just got a bunch of pencil pushers sitting behind an executive desk thinking they know how to run things better than you, it's quite unfortunate. Those managements should be leaning on the boots on the ground, the people in the facilities, working, maintaining, upkeeping those locations for metrics and data, so that way the upper management can make the best decision for whatever, right? Maybe we have enough rack space to set up, 100 8 GPU rigs, and then what would we do with that? Or maybe we have server racks, and we're going to get a bunch of Octaminer servers with that specially designed 4090s and stuff like that, and we're just going to fill up our bay and just have that area dedicated to AI compute workloads, and we still have our main portion of the farm dedicated to Bitcoin mining. There's no reason why they can't do a split, just whether or not, one side or the other, because if one side becomes a drag, right? It's not earning revenue, it's not helping with the overhead, it's not producing anything. The AI project they went all in on for this hardware seems to just vanish. Then now they're going to readjust again. So I wonder how this is going to pan out. I would like to hear your thoughts about AI, cryptocurrency AI projects in the space. Are you having fun with it? Is there a project that you like that continuously gives you jobs for your machines to work? Which AI project has your eye? Let me know in the live chat or the comments when you have a moment. We got about 15 minutes left. So I'm going to rock and roll before we get into Red Panda's live stream. Love you guys. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you for dropping off the stream, all 4 of you. But I hope you come back eventually. BitDeer currently utilizes 36% of power, and some of the capacity could be directed to artificial intelligence and high-performance compute, or HPC, firms for revenue. Basit says, we're still in the evaluation stage. We've hired expert consultants that put up a lot of data centers, and they're going through and looking at every one of our sites and evaluating them for the use of AI or high performance computing, right? BitDeer AI plans somewhat mirror those of Core Scientific, which unveiled a 12-year HPC hosting contract in late June with CoreWeave, a cloud infrastructure company, right? So not only just looking at crypto companies, but just overall being a housing area for major data centers, right? So not often you get to put a data center in a specific location that you want. But if you can partner with a company that's already in that area and they got the shelf room, the space, and the power, you could partner with them and, go ahead and load up your data center there. So that right there is big. Core Scientific got a 12-year plan with CoreWeave. Okay? Keep an eye on that. BitDeer is also moving into the ASIC industry, manufacturing chips that specialize in Bitcoin mining. So they're making the chips that I was just talking about earlier. Not only is it a way to further diversify BitDeer's revenue, but Basit said that the area with Bitcoin mining industry is dominated absolutely dominated by Bitmains and miners. 100% true. While some Bitcoin miners are interested in buying up the competition, Marathon is interested in scooping up asset it mines instead. The company said Thursday that it would no longer sell Bitcoin, announcing it had also bought 100 million in BTC for its balance sheet. So kind of like, what's his name? Wow, I can't believe I forgot his name. Wow, how am I forgetting his name? Wow, I can't believe I did that. Big Bitcoin investors. No, not Peter Schiff. What is it called? Oh my gosh, how am I forgetting his name? It's not that Michael Saylor. You know, kind of like Michael Saylor, always adding to the balance sheet. Marathon's doing that, while BitTheer is exploring the opportunity of building its own chips, trying to get more of that market. If the Bitmains has a majority share of the overall market in Bitcoin or crypto ASICs, right? They got Bitcoin, they got Doge, they got Caspa, they're getting into Alphium now, or Alephium. I'm not sure how you say it. But they're trying to get a part of that, right? Just like Intel had a majority share in the data center space or in chips and CPU space, AMD has slowly taken over that top spot. So we'll see how things pan out in the long run. Now, this is very interesting to me, maybe not to you, but new malware, PGMem, targets SQL, right? Specific SQL, PostgreSQL SQL databases for crypto mining. Now, this wouldn't be impactful to you. I just skipped the ad for you guys. Saved you from that one. This wouldn't be impactful to you, but I could see this being impactful to certain cryptocurrency operations, maybe even some various mining pools. But anyway, cybersecurity researchers have unpacked a new malware strain dubbed PGMem. Is designed to mine crypto after brute forcing their way into an SQL database. Brute force attacks involve repeated attempts, blah, 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 yada, 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 where they get the database credentials until access is gained. When access, attackers can leverage the copy from program SQL command to execute an arbitrary shell command on the host, allowing them to perform malicious activities such as data theft and deploy malware. The attack chain observed by the cloud security firm entails targeting misconfigured SQL databases to create an administrative role and exploiting the feature called program to run shell commands. In addition, a successful brute force attack is followed by the threat actor conducting initial reconnaissance and executing commands to strip I can't even pronounce it right, the user of the super user permissions, thereby restricting the privilege of other threat actors who might gain access to the same method. So basically, once they're in, they make themselves a super user, prevent other people from joining them with malicious intent, and then they're able to execute shell scripts. I just find this interesting. I love stuff like this. Of course, this has been detailed and provided, and there's already deployments going out. But basically, once in, they run a batch script, collecting the system's data, as well as deploying XMR rig miner and reverse shell of remote access. So basically, start mining, earn some crypto while getting the data. But most of the targets are going to be inconfigured or incorrectly configured SQL databases. But it's nothing new. We've been seeing SQL injections and attacks and exploits for years. And what's funny to me is, as a company that I work for, people always come and wonder why their website or database has been infected when they're not updating anything. Like, they build the website on WordPress. They shouldn't even be using WordPress in the first place because they don't know how to properly use it. They don't update plugins. They don't update PHP. They don't update their database. They don't keep their WordPress up to date. They don't update their themes, and multiple security leaks, and it just leaves them open. It leaves them open. And so they come to me and they're like, why did this happen? It's like, dude, you haven't logged in since 2017. Like, what are you doing? You're not a web developer. Hire a web developer and do it right. Otherwise, learn how to do it yourself and do it correctly. But keep your databases up to date. If you are working for a company, and this impacts you, let me know in the comments. But yeah. All right, so Red Panda Mining, what we got here? Where's Red at? Red Panda Mining should be coming on in about 9 minutes. I know most of you are going to leave because we're going to sit here and watch CNBC News regarding Jerome Powell's activities and stuff like that. I'll answer some questions in the live chat as we wait out the last few minutes for Red Panda Mining to go live at 12 p.m. As you can see here, I already have it set for you guys to redirect. So if you stay here, you will automatically redirect. You don't have to do anything. I got you, okay? First off, I'm going to say a couple words here, and I hope that you don't leave because of my words. Going through a tough time, as I said last stream. All of us are. Most of us are. We all got crap we got to deal with. I'm sorry. I wish I could help. But going through a tough time. Papa Serpent, not doing too good. So I sold 2 KS0 Pros. A community member spoke up. Great help to me. Helped me and my sister take care of a couple things that our parents need help with. But things are not good. I also just got a ticket for making a right on red. Don't know why. Got a ticket for making a right on red. So the cameras are not properly configured or set up to realize, hey, the guy's making a right, not going straight. But anyways, I got to fight that. It's just, it rains and pours. But I know every single one of you might be having to deal with something. So again, play the world's smallest violin. Who gives a crap? I hope you do good. I hope you take care of yourself and your business. I'm working hard to take care of what I got to. I'm still pumping out content. I'm still going to keep trying to pump out content and do these weekly live streams. But just bear with me. I appreciate you. And if I have more equipment to sell, keep an eye on the channel or my socials because I will post it. And what you buy will greatly help out the family. So just know that. Like, I'm trying to sell these things. I know I could be doing a giveaway. I should be doing a giveaway. But I don't really have a lot of equipment that I can just give away. And the money will be going to helping my parents out. So I appreciate you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. And now let's listen to CNBC and what's going on this week. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let's talk in the live chat.
Today, Bitcoin moves higher as Fed Chair Powell says it's time for U.S. monetary policy to change. As Vice President Kamala Harris accepts her party's nomination for president, we talked to Better Markets' Dennis Kelleher, who says that she should not embrace the crypto industry. And Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon walks us through why his state is looking to create the first U.S. government-issued stable token. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos. It is a day of gains for the crypto market, thanks in no small part to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. The head of the central bank spoke at the Fed's meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where he said that after months of rising rates, that, quote, the time has come for policy to adjust. Many investors, both on Wall Street and in the crypto markets, have long anticipated cuts to interest rates here in the U.S. And while the chairman of the Fed didn't signal when or how much rates might come down, the shift in sentiment was enough to rally stocks and crypto. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin jumped 1.8%, now above the 61.
Appreciate you, Tech Man, but go ahead and save your money, man. If you could do it, great. But anyways, I'd rather get it not through YouTube because they're gonna take like $3 off of that. But I appreciate it nonetheless. The gesture was thank you very much. And by the way, this shirt is a Gamers Nexus shirt. It's not from the Serpent X channel. It's a Gamers Nexus shirt. Obviously, I'm a Gamers Nexus fan, as you can tell. Mouse Mat, Mod Mat. Been supporting Gamers Nexus since they were small. They've now grown so big that Steve won't even get an opportunity to talk to me anymore when he used to talk to me a little bit here and there, and he was one of the reasons why I continue pushing so hard to get this channel to where it is today. So Steve from Gamers Nexus, you were a big part of where my channel is today and how I continue to compose myself and be very technical minded, so I appreciate you. Hopefully you can actually respond to me though. I've been trying to get a hold of you.
$1,000 mark. Ether crossed back above 2,600.
I would like to do a tour of your facility in North Carolina. I would drive up, bring my camera, do a tour with you, and post it on my channel. I would love to do that, Steve from Gamers Nexus. Meet Patrick, talk about power supplies, but nobody from your team will allow my messages to get through to you, unfortunately. So if you watch this, Steve, hopefully you get it.
$100. And Solana rose to $144. Now, over the past 7 days, Bitcoin gained about 2.8%, while Ethereum added about 1.7%. Fairly modest compared to recent swings in those assets, but it is still on track to beat the S&P's rise of 0.8%. Okay, politics has been front and center this week with the Democratic National Convention taking place in Chicago. Just last night, Vice President Kamala Harris accepted her party's nomination for president, saying that she will be a realistic president who focuses on common sense.
Head on over there.
Thursday's finale to the DNC caps off an unprecedented month for Dems and for the vice president, who rocketed to the forefront of the Democratic Party.
All right, hit that like button on the way out, get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. Thank you so much for stopping by and go hang out at Red Panda Mining. I'm going to go catch up with my family, get some stuff done, and stay tuned for more updates coming your way. Oh, there's a OneKey giveaway in the link in the description. Enter the OneKey giveaway. It's a Gleam.io giveaway. I give away a hardware wallet. If you're in the North America area that I can ship it to, I will ship it to you. If you're not in North America, I will give you some Bitcoin. Enter the Gleam.io giveaway. Link down in the description. All right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Red Panda's stream is loud, bro. All right. Bye.